What if I told you that everything you think you know about Dark Souls is actually wrong? For over a decade, one single massive myth has defined the entire series. It's a myth whispered on forums and screamed in all caps in comment section. The myth of difficulty. This idea that these games are just rage-inducing punishment simulators built to break your spirit and test your raw, twitchy gamer reflexes until you either get good or you give up. It's a powerful story. It's also a complete and total lie. The community, the critics, and crybabies. Hey, no offense, but you are all wrong. Dark Souls isn't about difficulty. It's not about punishment, and it's definitely not about getting good. I know this because I did something that, according to the legend, should be basically impossible. I beat Elden Ring, I beat Demon Souls, I beat Dark Souls, I even beat the supposedly janky one, Dark Souls 2. I did it all with no armor, no shield, just a sword. That's it. I'm not saying this to brag or show off. It was an experiment to prove a point that's been totally lost in the noisy of a billion rage compilations. Because when you strip away every defense crutch, you see the game for what it truly is. It's not a test of your reflexes, it's a test of your brain. It's not a bar fight, it's a conversation. It's not a mountain you conquer with sheer force, but a puzzle you solve with a little bit of patience and a whole lot of observation. This is Dark Souls as a chess match. And in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to read a board, understand how the pieces move, and start winning. The idea that Dark Souls is mostly about how hard it is might be one of the most successful and most misleading branding campaigns in gaming history. In the popular imagination, the series is defined by being a gatekeeper. The famous "prepare to die" tagline wasn't just a marketing copy. It became a self-fulfilling prophecy. They saw an enemy and thought, I gotta be faster, I gotta hit harder, I need a bigger helmet. They almost never stopped to ask, wait a minute, why is this guy standing right here? What is this always trying to tell me? What's the rhythm of the dude's attack? My no armor journey was a pilgrimage. It was a way to force myself to ask those questions. Without the safety net of the giant shield or the I can be staggered poise of Havel's set, I couldn't afford to make dumb mistakes. And by not being able to afford them, I found out the game is meticulously designed to help you avoid making them in the first place. If you just slow down and listen, every death isn't a punishment, it's a lesson. The game isn't laughing at you, it's patiently pointing at your mistake, waiting for you to learn the rule you just broke. The first, most fundamental mistake people make with Dark Souls is seeing its level as just always full of bad guys. This is a profound misunderstanding of what the game wants from you. The levels in Dark Souls aren't gauntlets, they're puzzles. They're meticulously crafted spaces designed to be read, understood, and manipulated. Think about the Tower of Latria. To a new player, this place is pure terror. The main threat, the mind flyers. Are these paralyzing, soul-sucking nightmares? A player in their heaviest armor just charges in, shield up, ready to tank the hits, and they get zapped by a spell and killed. Instantly, the levels feel cheap. But take your armor off. All of a sudden, you can't charge in. You have to stop. You have to listen. That creepy song, it's not just for vibes. It's an audio cue. You start using the architecture, the tight corners, the narrow bridges to your advantage. The level completely transforms. It stops being a horror show and becomes a methodical, stealth-based logic problem. My lack of armor didn't make the level harder. It just revealed the smarter, intended way to beat it. If the levels are the chessboard, then the enemies are the pieces. And just like in chess, every piece moves in a specific, predictable way. You'd never look at a chessboard and complain that the knight's move, it's unfair. You learn the rule and you play by it. The exact same thing is true for every enemy in the Souls series, except for those. Those guys are cheap. The myth paints these enemies as erratic, hyper-aggressive monsters. But my journey with all armor proved that this is completely false. Every enemy, from the weakest zombie to the biggest knight, is a self-contained puzzle. They have tells. Your job isn't to overpower them, it's to learn their language. Let's go back to Demon Souls and the iconic red-eyed knight. For a new player, this guy is a brick wall. He hits like a freight train, has a huge shield, and seems unstoppable. But without armor, you can only do one thing: watch. And when you watch, you see it. The knight isn't an opponent, he's a program. He has that slow, deliberate wind up for his huge downward slash, a clear signal to dodge sideways and punish. He's not fighting you, he's performing a dance. A deadly one, sure, but a dance with a fixed, learnable choreography. My lack of defense forced me to treat the fight like a turn-based encounter in real time. He makes a move, I recognize the tail and make my counter move. Check. Now we have to talk about Dark Souls 1 and the Black Knights. They're scattered throughout Lordran, usually guarding something important. They're faster and more aggressive. The common wisdom is they're gear checks, put there to crush underlevel players. Wrong again. The no armor runs revealed the truth. They aren't gatekeepers of gear. They are the game's final exam on one of the most critical skills: reading an enemy's rhythm. You could try to tank their hits, but with no armor, one mistake and you're dead. This pressure forces you to look for a better way, and the solution is right there in their animations. Every swing of their greatsword, every thrust of their spear has a telegraph wind up. They are practically screaming at you, move here, not there. Learning to dodge Black Knight's relentless combo is a rite of passage. It feels amazing, not because of godlike reflexes, but because you cracked a code. You saw the pattern, you understood the timing, and you executed the perfect counter move. The knight goes from an impossible wall to a walking tutorial that makes you better for the rest of the game. So, the levels are the board, and the enemies are the pieces. Now we have to talk about the engine that drives every move, the economy of combat. I'm not talking about Souls. I'm talking about the invisible resources you manage every second, your stamina, your position, and your chances to heal. This is the absolute heart of the chess match. Every single thing you do, a swing, a dodge, a single step, has a cost. Let's start with a boss that has humbled millions, the Flame Lurker. The instinct is to get in close, block, and try to out-damage it. This usually ends with an empty stamina bar, a broken guard, and death. But with no armor, you can't block, you can't trade hits. You have your wits and your stamina bar, and that little green bar becomes your entire universe. You win not by overpowering it, but by out-managing it. The principle hits its absolute peak in Dark Souls 1 against the legendary duo Ornstein and Smog. For many, this is the moment of the series. But the no armor run reveals the hidden order. This isn't one fight against two bosses. It is two resource problems at once. You successfully manage your position and your stamina against impossible odds. It's like a battle between David and Goliath, but you have to defeat the giants by outsmarting them, not by overpowering them. You didn't just beat two bosses, you solved a dynamic resource-based equation in real time. After hours of learning the rules, you arrive at the end. The final bosses of the Souls trilogy are the final exam. They aren't designed to be the single hardest fight, but the ultimate test of the core principles each game spent dozens of hours teaching you. First, King Alent. He's the final exam on pattern recognition. He's the red-eye knight, perfected. Facing Alan is like a final calm conversation. You see the Soul Sucker wind up and you just dodge away. Then we face Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. The music is sad, the arena is somber, and he attacks. For many, this fight is a fantastic scramble to heal and find an opening. But Gwyn isn't a test of your endurance. He's the final exam on one crucial mechanic, managing your opportunities. You can try to parry him, but that feels cheap, doesn't it? It trivializes the dance. You can try to tank him, but his relentless swing and surprising move will quickly drain your stamina and your Astus. My no armor journey taught me a different way. Gwyn isn't about offense. He is a puzzle you solve with a defense and patience. The only time to drink the Astus, it's when he's stunned for a brief moment after a combo of 3 hits. That's your tiny window. You learn to fight for that window, and you learn to fear his throw attack, that moment when he stops and look at you, making you think you're safe, before lashing out with a lightning-fast swing that demands a reaction time of less than a half second. Gwyn is the Black Knight, perfected. He is a final exam on reading your opponent. You learn his dance, his rhythm, and the exact moments he leaves himself open. The fight isn't a struggle, it is a performance. It is the moment where the Lord of Cinder, a god himself, falls to pure discipline and flawless understanding of the fight. It's like when Jesus said, "It is finished." The plan was always perfect. The victory was always certain. So what's the takeaway here? After stripping off all the armor, after facing down gods and demons with just a uchi, the great myth of Dark Souls just evaporates. Its reputation for being a punishing, impossible game is revealed as a simple misunderstanding. A story told by people who brought the wrong game plan to the table. The game isn't a bully that loves to watch you suffer. It's a demanding but fair teacher that asks for your full attention. Get Good was always a shallow take. It implies that only thing that matters is the raw twitch skill, but the truth is way more empowering. The real mantra of the series should be get smart. It's not about reacting faster, it's about understanding deeper. The difficulty isn't a wall to keep you out, it is a lock. And the game gives you the key. The key is observation, the key is patience, the key is shifting your whole perspective from a brawler to a strategist. My no armor journey didn't make the game harder, it made it clearer. It filtered out all the noise and forced me to engage with the beautiful, deliberate clockwork ticking at the heart of the game's design. It proved that victory isn't found in a suit of armor or a giant health bar. It's found in knowledge. To anyone who's been afraid to try this series because of the reputation, I'm telling you, don't believe the hype. Don't prepare to die, prepare to learn. Approach it like a conversation. Listen to what the world is telling you. Treat every enemy not as a fight, but as a chess problem waiting to be solved. Dark Souls doesn't hate you, it believes in you. It trusts that you are smart enough to solve the grand puzzle it has laid out for you. The only question is, are you ready to learn the moves? If this video opened your eyes, click the subscribe button. It's like a covenant with me to break more myths and solve more puzzles together. And I promise you, I read every single comment. The good one, the bad one, and the crazy one. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the New Game Plus.